Hello guys, today I'm gonna show you guys how to draw an anime sitting pose. So let's get started. First off, I'm gonna draw a chair, and it's gonna be uh, a little bit perspective. So it's gonna be. I'm just gonna give him like the front view, like this. The chair that he's gonna be sitting on. Doesn't have to be perfect because most of this is gonna be covered by the character anyway. So this is just a guideline for after I finish the character. I'm gonna draw the rest of the chair more detailed. So let's just start with this. Okay, pretty good. So now let's just place his pelvis, which is gonna be quite not on this line because nobody sits like completely at the end of the chair. I mean at the inner end of the chair. Most people sit very long, I mean very far to the edge of the chair, which is going to be around here. And then the leg is gonna bend downwards. Not that open, or maybe. Okay. So the hardest thing about drawing sitting style is to get the poster right, because it's not like we study people sitting every day, and it's also something that we don't draw that often when we try to learn to draw. For example, if you look up the tutorials on YouTube, you won't find that much tutorials on how to draw sitting style, I mean sitting pose. And as you can see, this one is definitely wrong. How to push it a little bit there. Okay. I feel like the chair is a little bit too big, or maybe, I don't know. Just gonna draw the character a little bit bigger. By the way, one center line to help the character be, straight up. And okay, so another thing that is really hard in my opinion when drawing sitting is to get the proportions, I mean the length of the leg, correct compared to the body. So the length of the leg has to stay half of the body body's height, and that's really hard because now it's bent so much. So you just have to get the feeling of whether it's correct or not. And actually, I'm gonna he's gonna lean forwards toward the camera, and then he's gonna be, one hand is gonna go down here, and then the other is gonna go down there. Okay, so I'm actually gonna have him lean onto one side of his body with his elbow on the leg, and then the other part is gonna have the same poster, but it's gonna be a little bit lifted from the leg. Of course, there are so many ways people sit. This is just one example. I'm gonna have this guy being a very lazy guy, a very lazy poster. So yeah, that's how he sits. That's pretty lazy. Okay, so his leg is gonna be, crossed I mean not cross, but one on top of another. And by the way, I've heard that from somewhere that if people sit like this, it means that they are really comfortable in their seat or place. I don't know, maybe it's true. Okay, so if you can, adjust the chair accordingly, and that way it's easier. But if you have drawn the chair completely in place and detailed, and you can't adjust it, you have to be more careful with your sketch, because then you have to get the proportions right. For example, now I just lengthened it a little bit in order to match the chair with the rest of the body. Okay, that's pretty much the sketch for the character. Just have to get the small things correct. And now just look at it. If it looks very okay, then you can go on and start drawing the details and clothings and all the things, the dress of part. Okay, but one thing that I'm not very satisfied with this one is this leg. I feel like it have to be a little bit closer and pointing more directly at the foot, something like that. Okay, that's pretty much it. Now I feel like you can't see anything of the chair because this guy's so big. Actually, I'm gonna increase the size of the chair a little bit so that it doesn't look like this guy is too big, like enormous, gigantic. Yeah, there pretty much. Of course, give him some rounded corner. I mean, give the chair some rounded corner, because most chairs don't have those straight, hard, spiky corners. Okay, whatever. Now let's go ahead and by the way, this chair is becoming gigantic again. Whatever, I'm gonna finish the details first. So let's start with the head. This is gonna be 2 eyes. And by the way, if you are unsure of where my sketch is, I'm gonna redraw it. There you go. I'm gonna increase the size of the head a little bit. One easy way to measure if the size of the head is correct is to look at the shoulders, the width of the shoulders. Okay, pretty good. Now 2 eyes, a nose, and then the mouth, which is gonna be very lame, a lame expression. Maybe even an indifferent eye, 2 eyes, and then eyebrows, completely no expressions. Okay, so now let's go to the hair. So when drawing the hair, just remember to be natural. I've said this many times. So if you are very experienced, I mean if you have drawn hair a lot of times, it will actually not take you that much time. It's actually something that's really quick and easy to do. But of course sometimes you just draw things out of proportions and then you have to erase it. Most of the time it's just pretty straightforward. Either spiky or long hair or whatever. And then an ear. By the way, I'm actually gonna switch pencil to a much sharper one to draw the cheek. I'm gonna make this guy a little bit thinner because that one was a little bit too gigantic. I'm gonna give him some kind of clothing, a kind of shirt, yeah, a kind of school uniform. Not sure if it's a school uniform, but something like that is pretty okay. Actually gonna give him a slip, I mean a tie. You know, there are many different types of school uniforms. And by the way, if you have noticed, the creases almost always, I mean, at least in shirt, they tend to go towards the front bottom part, your crouch, your crouch, yeah, crouch. Is it called a crouch? I don't know, but you know, it's just curves towards there. That's just a rule to make your creases look a little bit more natural and beautiful. But of course it depends on the situation. Okay, now and the collar is mostly covered by the neck. Only a small part of it is visible in front of the behind the tie, and that's it. And for the leg, it's gonna be leggings. It's gonna be a kind of school uniform again. You know, those beautiful dress, I mean suit leggings. It's gonna be very straight. It's a legging that I don't like because it's a little bit too straight and it's a little bit too hard to draw. When the clothes is so straight, it feels natural. It even feels unnatural in real life, in reality. So I don't like drawing those kind of stuff. But whatever, it's a kind of school uniform. And sometimes if you treat it like a jean, it's still gonna work. Your drawing is still gonna work. So I don't know. So the difference between this fabric and the jeans is that jeans are much harder, and this one is very soft. really soft. So it's gonna fall, you know, very accordingly to gravity and what it lies upon. For the shoes is again gonna be, you know, the school uniform shoes. No, many school uniforms don't give shoes, so I don't know, just leave like this. The other one is mostly hidden. And actually I'm gonna and smallen. I'm gonna make it smaller. The chair is gonna be smaller. Yeah, actually it's almost not visible there. And then these two, and I'm gonna erase everything inside of it. Yeah, like that. And that's about it. Yes, so now let's go on to draw gonna make the tie a little bit longer. You know, he's been bent forward, so when he straighten up, it's gonna be, the tie is gonna be a little bit too short, or was gonna be a little bit shorter. Gonna finish off this one, make some random creases. A button there, a button here, if you guys can see even, and a thumb, and then the pointing finger, middle finger, and you know, the fingers, and the other hand is gonna be here. So as I've noticed, there's gonna be more creases on the part of the elbow, on the arm, is because, you know, it's being bent so often, so it kind of creases, you know, kind of make creases there, you know, by the bendings that you do every time you bend your arm. Actually gonna make his shoulder a little bit less masculine, because I feel like this guy, I mean this boy, is a little bit, you know, very young, so it's kind of strange to give him such a muscular body. And by the way, how can I forget the most important thing, which is the end of the shirt. So here ends the shirt, and at the end there's gonna be a lot of creases because he's being bent like that. And yes, so I'm actually gonna give him a more detailed face. Was a little bit too quick there. I feel like every time I draw two eyes, one of the eyes is gonna be darker than the other. had to find a way to make them symmetrical. Okay, and let's erase some of the fake lines. Not really fake, but failed lines. Okay, pretty good. Now I'm just gonna use a sharper, rubber or eraser to erase most of the guidelines and wrong lines, because I feel like I've drawn too many lines now that shouldn't be here. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not gonna waste your time watching me do the erasing, so I'm just gonna be quick and do the shadowing. Before I do that, I have to just finish off, give it a more detailed look, and also the ear, this part of the ear, just some random lines for the ear. Nobody knows exactly how the ear looks like anyway, so even if you draw it wrong, nobody can or will be able to judge you. And also most artists also draw it wrong. It's anime anyway, it's not real life. So let's go back to our normal pencil and let's start giving his leggings a color. And his shirt is gonna be white, so this one is gonna be gray. That's a normal kind of school uniform. And then his slips too. I think most of them we see slips. Slips. Why do you say slips every time? It's from Norwegian. It's a tie. Yeah, it's a tie. Most tie that we see on anime is red, I think. Yeah, I think most school uniforms have red ties. At least if I remember correctly. I feel like this part is a little bit too straight. And also this part too. And also I think, it differs, but some school uniforms have this line there on the shoulder to give him, it's the connecting edge between the clothes. Okay. And it's definitely wrong there. I'm just gonna give it almost straight up there, and then it's gonna have some lines there. Yeah. Also, sometimes it tends to have some folds there too. I don't know why. Maybe it's a connecting line, then it just kind of have some folds. Whatever. Let's go back to our pencil to just give it a little more detailed shadows there behind the creases. Every crease. Okay, some really small creases don't need shadows. Just large ones. Let's give more shadows there. I'm actually gonna give him even more shadows here. I mean more creases. So if you wear a jean now, if a pair of jeans now, then you can just look at your jeans, or if you want to look it up on the internet. It's really hard to explain how the jeans will crease. You just have to get the experience, and just keep studying jeans. And yeah, it's kind of strange now, the way I draw it. It's really strange actually. Okay, that's good enough. And then the shoes is gonna be really dark here, and then gray there. I don't really know how it looks like. Just drawing some random lines. You know, shoes are something that is really hard for me to draw. I just kind of don't know how shoes look like. But whatever. One crease there, pretty okay. And then some shadows. And then of course I have to have shadows here too. And then I'm just going to give his hair, not shadows, but a shade of gray. Not 50 shades of gray. What a cringy. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at your whole drawing and see if you can find anything wrong with it, and then you can just, I'm actually gonna shadow below the chair, yeah. Give it shadows right below the chair, because you know I don't have any direction of highlight anyway, so it's just gonna be straight below it, like that. The two other ones is gonna be here and here, I think. Yes, and we are pretty much done. I just have to, one thing, you know, that I've noticed that is a little bit wrong with this drawing is that his shoulders are a little bit too wide again. I already made it a little bit narrower, but still it's not enough. I'm just gonna make this even smaller. A bump there, bump here. Also, I don't know. Now it looks like his head is a little bit to the side, so I'm just gonna make this one a little bit smaller, and this one a little bit larger again. And also I'm actually gonna make his a little bit lower, and then this part of the arm is gonna go a little bit to this side. Gonna give him a thicker arm. Actually, I'm gonna have one crease here. Pretty good. Now, let's give him the bump that I intended to give him. And of course, now when you're done, of course you could have erased every single line and then redrawn everything with one stroke, because now you can see that there are many random strokes everywhere that I've drawn when I drawn the sketch. But we're not gonna waste our time doing that. Let's just use that time to draw another drawing if you have time, or another video for me if I have time. But I'm gonna finish this video now, and hope you guys learned something new, and thank you guys for watching. I will be uploading another video soon, pretty soon, and probably next weekend. And now, if you liked the video, please leave a like, and if you want to see more, please subscribe to my channel, and then I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.